Hi everybody. Today we are going to see a Python program to display the column names of a data frame. So first let us understand what exactly is a data frame. A data frame is a data structure in Pandas library in our Python programming language. Also, the data frame is a two-dimensional array. So what kind of data structure it is? It is a two-dimensional array with the rows and columns. In a simpler note to understand a pandas data frame is assume or visualize this to a table within a SQL. If you are familiar with your SQL, you can understand, you can visualize it in the form of rows and columns in a tabular view. Okay. So now I'm just putting before you a simple piece of code where I have already created a data frame. So before creating a pandas data frame, you need to import it. So I am importing it using I'm importing the pandas using this import pandas as PD. And this is how I created a data frame. So a data frame with employee information, as I already said. So this is a two-dimensional array with the rows and columns. So I created a data frame with employee information consisting of two columns. The column one is EMP ID, column two is EMP name. So the column EMP ID is the first column, which consists of all these values, or we can say this as rows. This is the second column, employee name, which consists of all the values A, B, C, D, E, F, X, Y, Z, P, Q, R. So as it is an employee name, I took it as a string format. Okay. So then we are trying to display the employee data frame. So wherein by we created the data frame using pd dot data frame. So we stored it back in df underscore employee. So now here we are trying to display it df as df underscore employee. So let us run it to just understand how a data frame looks in a pandas library. So now I hope you understood here. So this is our employee data frame and this is our df underscore employee. So which consists of two columns and each column with the respect to all the four rows. So then actually comes into picture our program here to display the column names. When you're directly giving the df underscore employee, it is going to give you all the rows and columns. So now we just want to get only the column names of a data frame, something like emp id and emp name. So one good way to do that is by means of using a for loop. Okay, by iterating through a for loop. Okay, using for loop and columns method of data frame. So that for column underscore name, this is what we are trying to store it every column in that data frame. So our data frame is df underscore employee dot, there is a method called columns. Okay, so we are trying to display it call underscore name. So before that we'll just display it a simple print statement to understand this is what we want. So employee data, we are getting the, we want the column names of a employee data frame. So let us run it. Once we run the code, so this is our previous part. So this is the part which we are done now. So column names of a employee data frame. So these are the column names of employee data frame. So we got it by iterating it using a for loop by making use of a method called columns. So we got emp id and emp name. There is also one more way where we can get we can put it in a proper order in the form of a list. So the other way here is using the same columns method and in the form of a list. We are expecting that in the form of a list. It's a simple statement, just we are trying to display it just to understand that this is a different way of getting the column names of the employee data frame. column names of an employee data frame in list form. Okay. So for that, we're just giving a print. Within the print itself, we can just call list of df dot, sorry, df underscore employee. So now we will get the column names in the form of a list. Okay. So there is, so if you could observe this, this is our part. We have done list of df underscore employee dot columns. Just run it. So column names of in the list form. So emp id, emp name. Okay. So there is also one more program to get the number of rows within a data frame. So for that, I'll give a next video. Please do follow. Thank you.